Once upon a chilling October night, in a quiet suburban neighborhood, four adventurous friends, Sarah, Tim, Emily, and Jake, decided to have a sleepover at Sarah's house. Sarah's parents were away for the weekend, leaving the whole house at their disposal. Little did they know that this innocent sleepover would soon turn into a nightmare they'd never forget. The night began with laughter and games, as they enjoyed their favorite horror movies and gorged on snacks. The clock struck midnight, and as the wind howled outside, they heard an eerie tapping sound on the window. They glanced at each other, fear etching across their faces. Tim, the bravest of the group, grabbed a flashlight and ventured towards the window, trying to pass it off as a mere tree branch. Just as he approached the window, there was a sudden loud bang on the front door that sent shivers down their spines. Their hearts raced, and they huddled together, searching for comfort in each other's presence. Terrified, they decided to investigate the noise, albeit cautiously. Emily picked up her phone to dial 911, but there was no signal. Panic set in as they realized they were cut off from the outside world. As they reached the front door, they heard the tapping again, this time faster and more insistent. Jake hesitated, his hand trembling as he slowly turned the doorknob. The door creaked open, revealing nothing but darkness. They stepped outside, their flashlights cutting through the blackness. But there, at the edge of their vision, stood a tall, shadowy figure. It was humanoid but distorted, like a nightmare brought to life. Its elongated limbs and featureless face sent terror coursing through their veins. The figure moved closer, almost gliding, with a malevolent aura that froze them in their tracks. With hearts pounding, they retreated inside and locked the door. The banging and tapping continued, growing louder and more relentless. Panic filled the room as they desperately searched for a place to hide. Sarah led them to the attic, a cramped and dusty space filled with forgotten relics. They huddled in silence, clutching each other, as the relentless noise echoed through the house. The shadowy figure seemed to be right outside the attic door, casting a chilling darkness into the room. Its presence filled the space, and the air grew cold and stifling. Hours passed like an eternity, the relentless banging and tapping driving them to the brink of madness. They whispered desperate prayers for dawn to break and free them from this nightmare. Finally, as the first rays of morning light crept through the attic window, the banging ceased, and the shadowy figure disappeared. Exhausted and traumatized, they cautiously descended from the attic. Their sleepover had turned into a horrifying ordeal they could never fully explain. They vowed never to speak of that night again, for fear that the tall shadowy figure might return, lurking in the darkness, ready to haunt their dreams once more.